You're not on Wi-Fi, right?
Front. Oh. No, I'm not on Wi-Fi. We're good. Still no comments, though. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. I got comments. We're connected. Tesla is literally the best option. All right, welcome, guys. Happy 4th of July. I got Harold here.
Hello.
Our beautiful Model Y. And we're going to show off comma-3x on the secret good OpenPilot branch.
We're trying to merge, but got some final kinks to work out. Discord users have been pressuring me to merge it, but fortunately we gotta wait for no regressions.
Hi from Morocco. Oh, what's up? What's up? Fashionably late. I think we were on time today. Yeah, it's 1:31. We're on time. We're on time. All right, how do you guys like the sale? $7.99. It's pretty crazy, right? All right.
Okay, I'll start in chill mode here, and then we'll switch over to experimental mode in a bit. So this is the latest and the greatest. This is what's in the paper. So now when people ask how it works, we can just refer them to the paper.
We can refer them to comma.ai/shop, and then they can experience it for themselves.
Oh, and that too.
I got a lot of people asking about George. George is around. He's just not in the car right now. New release already. Yeah, we're getting the release cadence up. So we just shipped 0.99, the second release of the year. This we're hoping to go in 0.910. And this is the Tomb Raider model. It's the first MLSim style model we'll ship. Showing it off in the best possible scenario. I don't know, we just got off the highway near the office. What kind of scenario do you want?
I mean, also, this isn't a demo. You guys have the devices. You can buy the devices. It's not like we're trying to.
A lot of people don't use
it look like it's the best light. This is not a demo.
No, we added support for Tesla recently. We want to show off the Tesla and the new model. Does it follow Tesla nav? So this has no nav right now. But for a reminder, we should remind people what secret good OpenPilot is, like at a high level.
Oh, you want me to explain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's one of the biggest refactors we've done to the model. So secret good OpenPilot is just a branch in OpenPilot where we're kind of trying out our new ML architectures before we ship them. These kind of really big architectural changes are really hard to ship because, they affect some cars differently that have weird controls. So it's pretty stable and we're iterating on it, but it's just not ready for master. So that's why we keep it in a separate branch. And as for what's different about it, it's basically the architecture that we describe in the paper. So we have a new way of supervising the plan that the model learns to drive the end-to-end plan. So previously we had some somewhat classical planning parts in the algorithm, like MPC, that were kind of taking where the model wanted to go and then kind of planning a trajectory there. Now it's even more end-to-end than that. We just have some kind of supervising model that predicts a recovery trajectory, and then we have this small model that's running in the car now that we train to mimic that recovery trajectory. So it's a little bit more end-to-end than what we've shipped in the past, and in many ways it's much better. It's generally just much smoother. It's much better at taking clean turns, and especially at larger turns at low speed and stuff like that. So yeah, you can kind of see that. It's also much better at experimental mode. I guess we can toggle that.
Yeah, let's try it.
We'll put the set speed all the way up. So the experimental mode that's in release and master, it's first of all kind of jerky, and also it doesn't reliably converge to a reasonable speed. On the highway, it'll frequently just go way too slow or sometimes too fast. This isn't perfect, but I think it's usable now. I think it's usually a more comfortable experience than just using the ACC policy, which is, that's a really big step forward, and that's a big reason that we're trying to ship this new architecture.
But even taking a further step back, so all the models you guys have driven on to date, unless you tried out the master stuff from a little while ago, were with this one stack that we kind of squeezed all the performance we could out of it. And this is an entirely new stack, and which will be kind of the stack of the future for the next few years at least. So this is why this is particularly exciting. It'll lead to a whole new generation of models, and you can already kind of feel how much smarter they are. They seem to have a better understanding of the scene, You can really see this around complex scenarios where there's like no lane lines, some oncoming traffic, some parked cars. It'll really dodge parked cars.
Yeah, to give some concrete examples, like the Taco Bell run, we had to modify the NPC planner to allow for some of the sharper turns that were necessary. So that was actually not, the release planner. If we tried to do the Taco Bell run on Master today, we'd run into some of those issues where the planner would prevent the car from turning aggressively enough sometimes. And that's completely fixed with these models. These models don't have an NPC. So, this model should be able to do the Taco Bell run if we added nav back without any other changes. So that's one small step forward. These models also, the supervising model is what we call a world model. That's what all the kids are talking about in ML. So it's got some of the new fancy stuff.
All right, we got a bunch of questions. So for people asking about like these Tesla specific things, the Tesla is just like a normal car to OpenPilot, except it has like you get more like steering torque, and the gas and brakes are more responsive. Other than that, we don't use the cameras, we don't use the nav. There's no like special Tesla features in OpenPilot. We're not driving with external GPU right now. This is all on a comma-3x that you can buy right now from comma.ai/shop.
It's cheaper than ever. Inflation adjusted, this is such a good deal.
The first digit is a 7. I think the last time that was true was like the Eon Gold, maybe, like really back in the day, before like I even worked here. So we're very happy. The hardware team's been cooking. We're working on supply chain, refactoring the 3x, getting the cost down. We were very happy to get the normal price down to $9.99. Very happy to be able to offer it for $7.99 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real testimony to the how much good work the hardware team has done, that you can build these devices now for money. Like it's not like we're just reducing the profit margins. These devices are actually being built cheaper, and the end product is better than they used to be. A comma-3 is not as refined as a comma-3x, and at the same profit margins, they were costing 3 times the price. It's really crazy what you can just get by just engineering. None of these profits come from outsourcing anything to some cheap labor country. It's all just engineering improvements from the hardware team in-house.
Which we're growing, by the way. If you want to build hardware here, we have a good challenge. If you're not sure, whether you have the skills or not, the challenges are the best way to evaluate that. Go check out the hardware challenge at comma.ai/leaderboard. All right, I've got a couple good questions. Is there more risk of Tesla firmware update causing problems? I mean, more so than other cars, mostly because they ship more updates. Most cars, they don't really ship substantial updates to the car at all. The Tesla does, but people have been driving around on the Model 3 and Y with OpenPilot for at least a year, and there's been no problems. We don't really foresee any issues. Model S support. I think the hardware for Model X will get merged for the next release, and then the Model S probably isn't that different. I don't know, go check out the Discord. Snapdragon 845 till when, or doesn't matter? Just plug an external GPU. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. We don't use all the 845, but still, if we used all the 845, or if we had some like more modern Qualcomm SoC or other mobile SoC we can put on the windshield, it's not even going to compare to a GPU. So the external GPU will give us more processing than like Tesla FSD has. So that's why you want external GPU. But yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned for external GPU announcement soon. Virtual torque blending yet? No, this doesn't have any torque blending, unfortunately.
But who needs torque blending when it does make mistakes?
I mean, that's how Tesla thinks.
Yeah, torque blending would be nice.
Oh, you have OpenPilot on a 2023 Model S Plaid. Oh, cool. Has anyone taken advantage of the sale yet? We've sold over 300 devices already. Been quite a successful sale.
Can I turn on the AC?
Yeah, let's turn on the AC and see if it's okay.
Wait, no, not.
Should we try a little bit of driving the city, like around La Jolla here with experimental mode?
Yeah. La Jolla Drive?
Yeah, we can do La Jolla Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see this. Check out the nice Mormon church. We'll see how experimental mode does in the city with these TR models. Yeah, it's only using the OpenPilot cameras. No Tesla cameras here.
Really hard to lane change.
Yeah, I think we won't do many more demos like this in the Tesla. Slightly confusing, I guess. When I look at the web dev for place reaction, every PR was just say, yeah. I don't know why people even bother with that. I don't know why people even bother. so funny watching people try to like game the jobs thing. It's like we have these challenges to just kind of like filter. Do we want to have a phone call with you? And then the phone call is like, do we like talking to you? Do you like kind of understand what's going on? Would we like working with you? And then that's the whole hiring process. It's really not that complicated. Yeah. If you think, you can come here and improve OpenPilot, improve the product, we'd love to have you. Just try one of our challenges. Can you explain how MLSim improves the models? Yeah. Harold, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so there's kind of two different things. One is what we're trying to merge now, which is called TR.
Well, maybe we should give them the MLSim blog post link so you can get some visuals first. So if you head to blog.comma.ai/MLSim, you'll see a bunch of nice visuals. You can ignore it. It's pretty technical. If you want to ignore that, you can read it too. Or you could just look at the nice visuals, and that'll kind of explain in the best way, like why we're limited by the old architecture.
Yeah, but just to put it, I guess, in short words, there's two things we want out of MLSim. One is the recovery trajectories, which these models have, and then we want to get the images out of the simulator too. And so now we're just trying to merge the recovery trajectories, and then after that we'll do the images. And basically why this is a big deal is to teach the model how to recover from mistakes and to make it robust to kind of noise and different car controls. It needs to be trained in simulation, and we need to introduce noise in that simulation and have the models recover. And so we need to be able to deviate from normal videos and kind of simulate small deviations from normal driving video. And now we do that by estimating depth and then reprojecting. But there's a lot of issues with that. You can't reproject certain things like reflections and light effects. Our depth estimation is not perfect. There's all sorts of issues with that. So if you can have some kind of ML model that can simulate deviations from any kind of video, you can just get much higher quality. And that's the biggest thing holding back the intelligence of the models now. It's not the compute on the device, it's just how much capacity we can give the models before they start kind of focusing more on all these artifacts of the simulation as opposed to
basically, put simply, the scenarios where OpenPilot doesn't perform as well as you want it to look really crappy in the current simulator, and in the new simulator they don't look crappy. So this is like kind of the fundamental crux of the whole thing.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't look at all like the real world. You might be able to know what's going on, but in some of these scenarios where you're making like a 90-degree turn, it doesn't look at all like it doesn't look realistic. So this is like kind of the fundamental thing. If you go to blog.comma.ai/MLSim, you can kind of see what these pictures look like when you deviate from them.
Yeah, and if you're interested in more technical stuff, there is a full paper that I think is pretty descriptive with basically everything. And there's OpenPilot branches that implement all of the things in the paper. So everything's there for those who are interested.
Yes, I do phone screens. Harold does phone screens. It's not like, there's not like 18 layers of management. You talk to one of us, and it's real straightforward. My calls are particularly quick. Usually it's like 10-15 minutes, and it's pretty clear whether it'd be a good fit or not. We're pretty fast at the whole hiring process. So for a reminder, we're now in the city, driving around La Jolla. We're going to see how experimental mode works in the city. So far it's been pretty smooth. Hopefully this lead car will go so we can do some red lights on our own.
Yeah, does anyone have any feedback on the TR models? I don't know how much overlap there is between the Discord testing community and the...
When will you reach 1.0? So 1.0 is basically when experimental mode is in chill mode. We've put timelines on this before. It's an open research problem. We'll see when it pans out. But these models are the biggest step we'll have shipped if we're able to ship these for the next release, which will be next week. So that'll be a very positive sign for 1.0.
Yeah, just to add on that, this really is an open research problem. Like, a lot of people are very interested in training and simulation like we're doing, especially world model simulation.
Wait, this is very smooth.
Yeah, no, I know. It's good stuff.
If this was any other car and any other model, I would have had to disengage here. This was incredibly smooth.
I mean, the Tesla is better, but generally these models are just much smoother.
That was really good. It didn't break early or anything. There's lots of things to get confused about in the scene.
Yeah, no, these models are substantially better.
This is totally vision only too. That was actually really good.
Yeah, this is vision only.
Yeah. I mean, this is not that easy, like, to comfortably plan around these turns. I don't know if you guys see this. There's no lane lines or anything. This is not that easy of a scenario. In these models, you can really feel how much smarter they are in these scenarios.
Yeah, let's see what it does.
I'm even slightly confused
here. It's
here.
not really clear what's going on.
Yeah, the humans are confused.
Oh. I don't know what.
Oh.
This bus just
I don't think we were supposed to go this way. I think our leads.
Oh, our lead was wrong?
I think our lead was wrong, or the bus was wrong.
What, you think I was in a turn lane?
It was not clear.
It's definitely not indicated if that's true.
Yeah, this is really not that easy.
Okay, well, I thought I was doing the correct
I don't
thing.
think we're even in a lane now. No, we're definitely not in a lane.
What is the lane then?
It's over here, where those
This
guys
is
are.
the lane?
Yeah, this is the lane.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it gets confused in the same place as we do. I guess that's fair enough.
I mean, yeah, you guys can see how nuanced these scenarios are. So now we placed it in the right spot, and it's holding.
But yeah, no, this really is an open research problem.
Somebody says there's not enough noise in the real data. Wouldn't you use a sim model reinforce the bias? Wouldn't using a sim model reinforce the biases of the simulation?
Not sure what that means.
Reinforce the biases. Maybe using more of like a classical simulator, and it wouldn't.
What is this guy doing?
Yeah, this is okay. Here, this is.
Finally on construction road.
But I don't know. That was a good stress test. I would say it didn't do too poorly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not really sure what happened to that lane, but
yeah, this is the most comfortable experimental mode I've experienced so far.
yeah, the main thing is just that it gets to normal speeds reasonably, and
Does Tesla have radar support? No. This car does not have a radar. If it did, we'd parse it out, but this is totally vision only. And it's actually quite comfortable. Hardware 3 or 4 with Tesla harness, Tesla A or B? I don't... Is that a question or a statement? The hardware 4 harnesses just came in, by the way. They came in yesterday, so they should be on the shop the next day or two, and all those orders should ship out if you have a car that requires that harness. Is Tesla steering accuracy / ping pong issues better than other cars? Yeah, the steering is great on the Tesla. Surprisingly, though, the Tesla does not have the most torque in our fleet. Some of the newer Hyundais exceed the ISO limits, which is pretty scary. On the stock system, they'll let you exceed the ISO torque limits. I'm not sure if Hyundai even knows this. Maybe we should post about this. This is pretty insane. But the Tesla will give you exactly the ISO limits, and we use almost the full extent of them. Somebody says that was a right lane. That was a right turning lane. Yeah, that might have been true.
oh, yeah, I mean, it wasn't indicated, but
Yeah, so if we did have the radar, it doesn't get passed to the model yet. It gets matched after the model. The model outputs the leads, it gets matched with the radar. We mostly use the vision data, but we use the radar to refine some information about the leads, like the speed.
all right, where should we go here? Should we go right?
Let's get some red lights. Maybe we keep going. There's very little chance of this right now.
We'll get red lights here.
Yeah. Somewhere like Little Italy would be nice. Maybe we find somewhere that's... Maybe we try this road.
Just go right here. There might be some lights here, right?
Yeah. If we slow down enough, we can get this red light.
Well,
You can never get the...
let's see
When you want to
if
test this...
OpenPilot wants to.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions about anything? Hardware, OpenPilot, software, the research stuff, building comma-3x's. I don't know, is anybody not buying? The $799 is the best price we've been at in years. Do you guys remember when the comma-3 was $21.99 to get in the door? And, you know, we could not lower the price much more. We lowered the price as we could on that. But they really cost us a ton to build. Does the Tesla Robotaxi software use the same ISO torque limits? Likely, yes. You don't really need more than that. FSD slows down a whole lot if you really pay attention to it. Yeah, I imagine they don't use dramatically different software for the Robotaxi, really at all.
Okay, let's see.
$799 is nuts. Yeah, I agree. Okay, here we go, red light.
We have a red light.
All right, that was smooth. That's pretty good. Let's see if we stay stopped.
Better.
Yeah. Okay, we're stopped. We're good. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that was a Tesla vision failure with the wipers there. Do C3s work with upcoming? Yeah. So all comma-3 and 3x work. We just use, when we say comma-3x, it's kind of a shorthand for the most part. You mentioned Hyundai's. Is that on the new models or even a bit? Oh, no. The 2022 I think is too old. I think when I was talking about them going beyond the ISO limits, I think the EV9 does it, or the Telluride, Kia Telluride maybe? Maybe both. I don't remember exactly. How much that E45 is being used. So right now we use 40% of the GPU and 0% of the DSP. There's so much compute left on the 845. Any signs that'll be needed to be upgraded soon? I mean, do you want it upgraded? Do you like the $799 price? You know, if we upgrade the chip, the price of the device is going up. So I don't know if you guys want that.
I mean, I just think of the price of a modern cell phone, a modern high-end cell phone. Like, we're below that.
Can you make comma wipers? That might actually sell some devices. All right, we're going for the green light. Hesitated a little bit, but we're good. Let's see if it comes up. I would say this is... I want to go a little faster. This isn't bad, though. It's a little slow.
I mean, yeah, it's not super fast about speed convergence. It's just...
But it is converging, and it is pretty comfortable.
It does converge to something, or is it gold experimental?
I think this is comfortable so far. I'm happy with the speed.
Oh, this is kind of fast.
Okay, now we're getting fast. Let's see what it goes to. So now we're 55. I probably want to be like 45 here. Let's see if it gets this red light. Yeah, got it. This is like an aggressive Uber driver. That was maybe like FSD hurry mode.
Yeah, that was too aggressive.
But it didn't suffer from lack of speed convergence. Maybe. I mean, it didn't converge. It went the other way, I guess.
Yeah, we can put in the speed limits in the future. I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to see what... Like, the speed limits sometimes are useful. Even I look at the speed limits sometimes. Trying to figure out what kind of road you're on.
Comma does what Test can't. I mean, you know, FSD is really cool. How do you enter the address for destination? OpenPilot at this time does not have nav. It just goes and you point it somewhere and it'll try to drive you for as long as it can like that.
Yeah, the goal is kind of just to stay on whatever road you're on.
It's a little slow. It seems cautious through intersections.
I mean, it's just not very aggressive about getting to a certain speed. That's something we can improve in the future.
I would say this is close to
well,
usable.
now I set the speed limit, so... Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious what we'll get on an empty highway.
Let me put the speed limit.
Also, this is our first time driving experimental mode on this model in this car. Yeah, this is kind of a raw experience. We didn't test this shit beforehand. Did you even drive on this model, or did like Cookie Monster drive on it?
No, I've driven on this like maybe once or twice.
Okay.
But I mean, we know kind of what to expect. Especially on the Tesla, because it has such predictable controls.
I have the older comma-3. What am I losing by not having the new hardware? Concretely, CAN-FD, but if your car doesn't have that, it doesn't matter. The 3X is just like a little nicer, like fit and finish, that kind of stuff. But other than that, not much. Like, you know, you can decide to upgrade if you want like the latest thing, but you if you don't look at the device ever or think about it, you won't need to upgrade. Yeah, all the games come in the software. Will behave identically in Europe, or is the device and model limited anyway? We don't do any like Europe limiting. Half the training data is outside the US, right?
Yeah, I think about half, yeah.
Yeah. Any differences in behavior will come from like differences in the road and stuff like this. But we've got a good amount of users in Europe. They're quite happy with it. What happened to model desire input and nav? So we removed nav to make more progress on this new architecture. We're just trying to get up to OpenPilot 1.0, where all the lateral and longitudinal planning are done end to end. And then we'll add nav back once it's the majority source of disengagements. Does the lane change work if there's a car on the side? So if your car's the blind spot monitor, it'll block it. But we require a nudge to confirm the lane change is safe, regardless. So you check that it's safe, and then you tell it, yep, you're ready to go. And then it'll complete the lane change. Keeps overshooting the stops at red. It overshoots them a bit, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily that bad.
The last one it overshot. The other one was fine.
This is probably the worst failure so far. It's kind of creeping up to this car. Like it feels a bit uncertain.
Yeah, I mean, the priority with merging these models now is just that the lateral performance is strictly better than what we have in Master. And then after that, we can put more effort into the longitudinal. Like, I think the longitudinal is already a lot better, but stuff like stopping at the right point at a red light and stuff, that's not something we've spent that much time on yet.
Yeah, you've noticed the red lights are a coin flip, and Longitudinal gets much closer to the car in front than OEM. Yeah, the latter thing is probably because you don't have radar. And the smarter models should just deal with this better. And then the red lights is something we're trying to fix. We have good tests for this now. Once we ship these TR style models, hopefully we'll see some pretty rapid progress on experimental mode.
Yeah, it's just really a prerequisite for a lot of the improvements that we're looking at doing.
Oh yeah, the light is so good. Yeah, you can really feel it. I've driven with SGO in a couple months and drove with it for the first time again the other night. You can definitely feel the magic. Def mergeable. Yeah, the thing is we have to evaluate this on our worst performing cars, and that's largely the reason we haven't shipped it yet.
Yeah, the big problem cars are Ford Bronco. They seem to have uniquely bad actuator controls. Whoever did that at Ford
we'd like to talk to you.
was having a bad day.
We just want to talk.
We've looked at the data. It turns out you did most of the cars correctly, but for some reason, the Mark 14 F-150 and the...
Did they fix
Ford
it on like the
Bronco.
later model years? We can check that too.
No, it doesn't even seem consistent with model years.
Oh.
It seems like, I don't know, just those two cars.
Do you think they even know?
I definitely don't know.
Yeah, they definitely don't know. Stock ACC is usable anyway. Just wait until you get like good end-to-end longitudinal. The way you guys prefer the lateral over the stock lateral, you're going to prefer OpenPilot's end-to-end longitudinal. I don't think you guys have any idea how good this shit is going to get.
Yeah, it'll just feel more comfortable. Like, normal ACC feels great when you have a lean car that is clearly visible, that isn't doing anything crazy. But as soon as you start having cut-ins, or, you know, you're starting to drive next to other traffic that's kind of dense, you know, it doesn't do the right thing. Oh, gunned it for the yellow.
I mean, understood the scene. Let's see laterally what it does here. This is not obvious. Yeah, it's dodging these cars. It's converging properly. I would have preferred it was a little more conservative, but that was fine.
Yeah, I mean, once we figured out the bugs, we can look into, like, training more on the better driver data, you know. Not everyone's always a good driver. Sometimes people get lazy.
But this has none of the jerkiness experimental mode normally has. This is quite good, actually.
Longitudinally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we fixed that. That's fully fixed.
Do we have numbers for reaction time assist when someone cuts in front of the car? Yeah, so the end-to-end latency in OpenPilot itself is on the order of like 70 milliseconds. So we got that down a bit in 098. So 70 milliseconds is like quite good. And then we can drive it down slightly more, but then if you have the model run longer, you give that up. So 70 milliseconds is probably kind of what it'll be. And then you can see for the different cars longitudinally, if you go to, we have this nice little repo called OpenDBC data, and you can see all the reports for the cars we have. And you can see, like, for your specific car, or if there isn't a report there, I'll show you guys in the developer menu. You can go to, this developer menu, and you gotta see the longitudinal maneuver mode. If you enable that, you can run through this test suite, basically, and get all these cool plots for your car. And it'll show you, like, how quickly it'll respond from a stop. That'll tell you things like, if the lead car pulls away, how quickly can you expect your car to respond? And it kind of captures the full behavior of your car longitudinally. We're working on something similar for lateral now.
Should we make our way back?
Yeah, let's head back. No radar is scary at the moment. Yeah, an OpenPilot Master it is, but this has been pretty comfortable so far. I kind of forgot this car didn't have radar.
Well, yeah, in non-experimental mode, it's scary because the stock policy is not smart enough to deal with not having good radar points.
You can't collaborate on long like you can with lat. It's not quite the same. NDOG helps a bit with this.
Let's get back on the main road, engage.
Yeah. Close call with that bus? No, not really. Maybe it looked a bit worse on the video.
With this last bus here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know, it had like 3 feet, but I just wanted to make sure.
Alright, we got like 15 minutes until we're back at the office. This is kind of guys' last time for questions. 0910 should ship next week to the staging branch. Hopefully it'll have the TR model. If not, it's going to have this new feature for those people who want this dash cam feature, where you can record the audio if you want, and it'll show up in your like dash cam video. We're shipping that mostly for. We're gonna try to do some like audio feedback stuff, like where you can give driving feedback via audio, kind of like Tesla does. But we also threw that in there if anybody wants it. Totally opt-in. It's like the DCAM. It's default off, and then you can opt in if you want that for your own sake.
Wait, this is actually kind of hard here.
I heard that you can't drive without LiDAR.
With this cone stuff, that's one of the things we've got to fix.
Yeah, so there's the secret LiDAR on the comma-3x. No, you can drive without LiDAR.
I can't believe people are still talking about LiDAR after like FSD is pretty good. It's unbelievable. I thought that would have been the end of the LiDAR stuff.
Oh man, have you seen the new Waymos? I was in SF last weekend, and they
the Zeekers.
Yeah, they don't look that great. The Jaguars are so nice. I think people are gonna miss the Jaguars. Tesla's angle based. Yep. Are those improvements coming to Toyota angle based? So some of them are. If you look in the blog with how we did the safety for this, we can ship that for the Toyotas too. So some of these will come.
Yeah, a really big advantage of angle-based control is that in their internal controller, they have very low latency on torque. So they can very aggressively put torque on the steering wheel to get to a certain steering angle, which is something we can't do on the cars with the torque API, because they have all sorts of low-pass filters and lag and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I feel so much better on cars that have decent angle control to have angle control steering.
Oh, you saw a few Waymos in LA. Yeah, they seem to be expanding. It's funny hearing their troubles with the map, though. Imagine you had to like go remap your area with your 3X. It would not be a good time.
Well, yeah, they would have had to remap that area. We got confused with the turn lane and the bus.
FSD is surprisingly good with construction too. I mean, it feels like a big while loop. It's like, well, stuck in construction, trying to just back out and then go back in. But it's pretty effective. Can you do some low-speed turns from one road to another to show improvements for less jerking? What do you mean? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I mean, we showed quite a bit of like pretty tight turns.
We're really not interested in stuff like 90-degree turns. I mean, this is just isn't. It's like a cool demo and it's fun to show your friends, but like that's not, people who actually use OpenPilot in a commute. This is not where their complaints are. We're really trying to focus on the things that make OpenPilot a better experience for the people that buy the product. And some of this stuff is just really cool in demos, but what you really want is just the highway to be flawless and to deal better with the tail end of cases. Like you want really smooth slow down for a turn, really appropriate speed selection automatically. That's the stuff that would make people's average commute easier, as opposed to like being able to do 90-degree turns, which is also why we scrapped nav.
Yeah, I mean, with OpenPilot 1.0, it should really feel like on the highway, you have like a person in your comma-3x, like a real co-pilot, as if like, the guy who's remotely operating the Waymo is operating your comma-3x. That's how it should feel. I think you guys are really underestimating how good end-to-end longitudinal will be, and how much of a difference it'll make. Whoa, you distracted?
Just looking down. It's on my GPU 2 poor hat.
GPU 2 poor. We'll get more GPUs soon. Any use for red pandas anymore? I mean, yeah, for development they're okay. But I don't know. If you're expecting to like plug it in and drive better, you're not going to get anything out of that. Is it mostly just for highway type of driving? I mean, that's where most of the value in the system is right now, yeah.
I mean, just for the people who are listening that don't have this context, the people who have bought our device drive most of their highway miles with OpenPilot. Over 50% of miles driven by people who have a 3X installed is driven by OpenPilot, and it's about 20 to 30% of the time. So almost all the highway driving and not all that much of everything else. I think what's realistic, what we can get to with some improvements, is we can do all of the highway driving really smoothly, really comfortably, and probably most of the city driving too, as long as it doesn't include like 90-degree turns or going into parking lots. When we bring back nav, we can start to do more complicated stuff. But the priority is really first to get the highway stuff perfect with end-to-end long, then to get like medium speed, stop and go, red lights, all perfect, and then we can look into nav again.
Yeah, it's like the goal is like human on a highway. It should feel like a human on the highway, and it kind of does right now. If in some very specific scenarios, but really anytime you have like a very clear lane, whether there's like red lights or anything, it should just feel good all the time, whether you have a lead or not. Compute for level 4 or 5. I don't know. You guys know how much compute like Tesla FSD has, right? They didn't ship a special car for that, so that's like a good bound. If you want to call that level 4 or 5, but there's like a guy half a mile away from you who's watching your drive. You need attention on the road at all times. Yeah, we have a DM model that checks all the time, and if you pull your phone out, you glance away. It's a pretty fair policy, but yeah, you have to pay attention all the time. When we consider less no attention required, we're pretty far from that.
I mean, you guys saw on this drive, we had to disengage in one or two more complicated places before we start thinking about that.
But the policy does relax. The driving model kind of tells you like, hey, this scene is a little more complex. You're going to want to be a little stricter. So we already do some of this, but there isn't like a huge range right now. When will we expect end-to-end long? I mean, I don't know. Are you guys happy with this drive? This is experimental mode on the highway, and it feels quite good.
What is it going to do here? It's easy.
Could you see OpenPilot integrate side cameras within the next decade?
Within the next decade?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know what we're doing this year. As long as we have some master plan, we're like, all right, finally, time for side cameras.
2035, side camera time.
I don't know. None of us thought it would take this long.
I mean, like, guys, we'll add side cameras when that's like clearly a source of people's problems and it's worth buying them and installing them. But it's clearly not at that point right now. We've
done this in the past, right? Where we made people put like a gray panda. We talked about the comma-3x, all this shit, and then none of it really panned out. You don't want extra hardware for no gain.
Yeah, or even little gain.
It's going to cost you more in terms of like dollars for the setup. The cameras are quite expensive, the device. And then, you're going to have to set it up. It's going to be janky. You're going to have a wire. It's not going to be a good time. And it's not going to improve OpenPilot today.
Also, we don't have wide enough field of view. We don't use the full field of view of the cameras now because of our simulation strategy. If we ship the MLSim, we can actually you'll get virtual side camera, basically.
I mean, this is experimental on the highway. It's great. This is legitimately very good.
Magic.
$7.99 is bananas. Yeah, it is. We'll see how long it goes on. We might go out of stock at this price.
It's cheaper than an iPhone. That's crazy. And iPhones are built in the billions.
Yeah. Mount C3X on the side mirrors. You don't want to do this. Your device is going to be outside. You got to run a wire.
Yeah. Not a good time. Also, things don't magically get better when you install side cameras. You actually got to do something with the video. Side cameras are just a new LiDAR. People are finally getting over asking if a LiDAR will fix things. Now everyone's talking about side cameras fixing things.
Yeah, when we drop radar, people are going to be pretty upset too.
Well, I mean, this didn't have radar, so... I don't think we had any issues since we turned on experimental mode that would have been fixed by having radar.
When you increase the FOV on the sim. It's blocked on MLSim, so we got to ship TR, and then we got to ship MLSim.
Yeah, we can't do that because of the reprojection. We need like some buffer in the field of view to be able to reproject, so we have to move away from the reprojection strategy before we can do that. But as soon as we do, we can put in the full image and hopefully get some improvement.
Okay, so this is a little uncomfortable. That's where you feel the no radar.
Yeah, I braked a little late.
Yeah. That still wasn't too bad. Usually it's a lot worse than that. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we ship it?
Ship it.
Well, we're going to go for a drive in the Bronco after this, and then we'll see if it's shippable.
Broncos are problem child.
Otherwise, it's like a pretty decent OpenPilot car. I mean, I promise you guys, like, you think these are all like low-hanging fruit, and it's like, oh, Comma just doesn't want to improve OpenPilot. Like, Harold spent 8 years of his life on this problem. I've been a Comma like 5 years now. Like, we want to ship things.
Wait, what is the low-hanging fruit they're complaining about?
Well, he's saying like the FOV will fix the low-speed turn jerking, 90-degree turns. We promised if it was that easy, we would ship it. Like, we come in every day, we're sad about things not moving faster. We want things to move faster.
We can't increase the field of view now. Like, we're using all of it, given the fact that it's needed in simulation.
So we are making MLSim train models. The problem is they haven't been good enough to ship to release. TR is an intermediate, so it's kind of a hybrid of both stacks.
I'm just going to take the 63.
Okay. Yeah, so TR is a hybrid of both stacks. Last release we shipped the Filet-O-Fish model, which ported over the 5 FPS change. What we've been doing is just like the standard strategy for a refactor, where you kind of break it up into individual pieces that you can ship, and hopefully you see if there's any regressions from that individual piece. And then you kind of keep going down the stack until you're all done, until you got MLSim. So TR will be like kind of the biggest intermediary we can do. Will radar still be used in the end-to-end long in the future? Hopefully not.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. One of the problems with the radar stuff is it also makes things much more complicated on the ground truthing side. Like, it's not actually that trivial to use the radar data. We then have to figure out, is a radar point relevant? Do you want to slow down for this radar point? Does this radar point match up with this radar point right next to it? All that logic has opportunity for bugs, and also frequently has bugs. So removing it would actually be a big win.
I'm porting my car, blah, 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 left-hand drive. Which car? And then, yeah, we don't have a left-hand drive model. Are you talking about device model or software models? Because both the device and the software are supported. It happens automatically. So totally supported. It has been for a super long time. Left-hand drive, right-hand drive, all the same hardware, all the same software. Just bought a 3X yesterday. Hopefully no comma-4 in a month. No, there's no comma-4 in a month. We have so many 845s. We have so many 3Xs to build. The hardware team has really been cooking on 3X production, 3X supply chain.
We're really, I think, we're going to be the leading expert on the 845, extracting the maximum intelligence from a chip. I mean, our models aren't, it's not the level 5 Waymo or whatever level Waymo is, but per watt, I am confident we are the smartest model in town.
Do you guys know how much we spend on the driving model? We spend 1 watt on it. 1 watt. Sorry, 1.1. I don't want to misrepresent here. 1.1 watt. And then, we have some watts to drive the camera. The whole device draws like 10 watts. But like a lot of that goes to like your fan, your IR LEDs, and a whole bunch of other crap, driving a display. It has nothing to do with like the intelligence.
Yeah, the environmentalists would love our models. How many buckets of water does one OpenPilot drive use?
Yeah, if you buy a 3X today, I think you'll be very happy with it. This is the best 3X we've ever shipped, which is kind of how it should be. This is the best software we've ever shipped. I've got some real software improvements on the horizon. Any EVs that perform well in the fleet? I'm rocking my EV6, but I'm thinking about, I don't know, EV6 is good. The Tesla's like a nice car. I like the Tesla as a car. And I prefer OpenPilot with it than FSD for my commute. But it's kind of cool. You can try both if you want to shell out for that FSD. How many GPUs and how long does it take to train the model?
Well, we have multiple models in the stack. I think now we have... where are we going?
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted by the GPU question. Well, we are GPU poor, like my hat says. We need more GPUs, but we have, I don't know, like 500 or something.
We have a whole lot sitting in boxes. We're waiting to be assembled.
But yeah, and then trains on the, I don't know, some models train on like maybe 100 GPUs, some a bit more, and they're usually trained within 24 hours. The world models, unfortunately, take forever to train. Those, we let it train almost a week.
Whoa, I thought those were 3 days.
Or maybe 3 days, yeah. I don't know, it could be 3 days. 3 days feels like a week. We used to have a rule that you're not allowed to train models more than 24 hours, but then these world models are just ridiculously hard to train, so we had to make an exception. But everything else trains within 24 hours.
Yeah, more compute. If you want to come here and help us, if you want to like work on infrastructure, if you want to work on the data center, if you're like somebody who's like, maybe you're not a software engineer, but you want to be like the data center technician, lots of opportunity here. We run the tiny, so Comma builds all the tiny boxes. and Tiny designs and develops the computers that go in our data center, the TinyBox Pro. So if you want to run production for that, if you want to design tiny boxes, you know, you're real good at CAD, you want to like design servers and stuff. We've got like custom PCBs in there. If you're like a great hardware engineer who wants to do this kind of stuff, try our hardware challenge. Check out comma.ai/jobs. Compute is getting quite important. Compute and data. So yeah, lots of room for an infrastructure engineer to come in and working on bringing up ingestion, making stuff faster. How many tiny boxes do you have in the compute cluster? So right now we have what, 3 racks of
yeah, like
4090s.
Something.
Yeah, so we have 3 racks of 4090s. We're gonna stand up some TinyBox Pro V2s pretty soon. Which car currently working best with it? I mean, we just tried this one. This is pretty good.
The Tesla's a really nice car in terms of control API. They've obviously put a lot of effort into it.
But we're putting all this effort into making sure the model works well with all the cars and is not a regression. So in the very worst case, you will not notice anything being worse. But generally, you should notice things getting better.
Yeah, most of these improvements transfer pretty well. I mean, a lot of the Toyotas are really good. Basically, every car that has decent angle control, you know, it's very easy to make the lateral improvements translate. Especially the torque and curvature controlled cars that have more problems. And longitudinally, we have to put some effort into making it robust to, like, some cars just have insane brake lag when you request brakes or acceleration lag. But I think it's longitudinal is not as sensitive to that sort of stuff, so we just need to deal with it better, and then I think you won't even really notice the difference.
All right, let's see how it does getting off the exit. Hopefully we can do the red light too. If we get a red light. All right, it's not speeding up too much. This feels good. It feels good so far.
So far, so good. Yeah, when we get these new models in, you know, we can really start focusing on longitudinal. Longitudinal's always kind of been an afterthought because we've always just been trying to move to new architectures that had, you know, less long-term bottlenecks and stuff.
This is good. This is good. Let's see where it stops. This has been good. It's gonna overshoot it a little bit. Yeah, it was gonna overshoot that.
I don't know why it does that. Into it.
I think that's it though.
Yeah. Did you want to show anything inside still?
Nah, we can do that later. We can do that later. You guys can see the new comma factory a bit later when it's. We're doing some construction right now, so it's not super clean. Getting a second board line. I think that's it. Call it a day here.
See you guys.
Go buy your comma-3x. If you're interested in making comma-3x's better, making the software better, head to comma.ai/jobs. You know, not sure if you have the skills or whatever. Just try the challenges. That is the best thing we've come up with to both evaluate people, and it's useful for evaluating yourself. So if you want an internship or anything, hiring interns year-round, hardware, software, even operations,